Captain Jun Park stood by the large window of Earth Space Station 7. His hands were clasped behind his back as he watched the Taken warship grow larger. The alien ship was 5 times the size of the biggest human ship. Its dark blue metal skin seemed to swallow the light of the nearby stars. "They're here," Jun said quietly. Lieutenant Yum Kim walked up beside him. Her face was tight with worry. "I still think this is a trap," she said. Jun nodded but kept his eyes on the approaching ship. "Maybe. But we have no choice. There are too few of us left to keep fighting." The war with the Tagans had lasted 20 years. Humans had lost colony after colony. Earth itself was now at risk. Billions had died. The strange thing was that humans had never known why the Tagans attacked in the first place. "The ship is requesting docking permission," said the young officer at the control panel. "Granted," Jun ordered. The room fell silent as the enormous Tagan ship moved into place. Metal clamps locked the 2 vessels together with a deep, echoing sound that vibrated through the floor. "Captain," Eon said softly, "why would they want peace now? They were winning. They could have finished us off." Jun had asked himself the same question many times since the Tagans had called for peace talks 3 days ago. "I don't know," he admitted. "That's what we're here to find out." The Earth Diplomatic Corps had chosen Jun for his calm mind and steady voice. In his 15 years as a space diplomat, he had never lost his temper. Even when facing the aliens who had killed his wife and daughter, when they destroyed the Proxima colony, Jun would stay professional. That's what Earth needed now. "They're coming through," announced the security officer. The airlock door slid open with a hiss. 4 Tagans walked into the room. They were tall, almost 7 feet. Their skin was light blue. Each had 4 eyes that never seemed to blink. Their faces rarely showed any emotion. The tallest Tagan stepped forward. "I am Commander Kurval of the Tagan High Command." The translator around his neck converted his clicking sounds into English. "I am here to discuss the terms of your surrender." Jun kept his face neutral even as he felt tense beside him. "I am Captain Jun Park of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. We are here to discuss peace, not surrender." Kurval's 4 eyes stared at Jun. "Peace, surrender. The words are different. The result is the same. Your species has lost." Behind the commander stood 3 other Tagans. 2 were clearly guards. The third was smaller and younger. This one was watching Jun with what seemed like real interest, not the cold look of the others. "Maybe we have lost many battles," Jun said carefully. "But we are still here. And you called for these talks, Commander. Not us." A tiny flicker crossed Kurval's face. Something like, "What?" Jun couldn't be sure. "We will begin formal talks tomorrow," the Taken commander said. "You will be given our terms then." He turned to leave, then stopped. "Captain Park, the Taken High Command selected me because I have studied humans more than most. I understand your emotional nature." Jun nodded. "And Earth selected me because I understand the value of logic, Commander." The young Taken behind Kurval tilted its head slightly, as if surprised. "Until tomorrow," said Kurval. The 4 aliens turned and walked back through the airlock. When they were gone, Eon let out a long breath. "Surrender. They expect us to just give up. They expect us to be desperate," Jun said. "And we are. But that doesn't mean we'll accept any terms they offer." He looked back at the massive warship outside the window. Something isn't right. They're hiding something. He thought of the young Tagan who had seemed different from the others. There was something there, something that might be useful. "Get some rest," he told his team. "Tomorrow will be a long day." As the others left, Jun stayed by the window, thinking of his daughter Ha, and wondering if there was still a way to save what remained of humanity. The next morning, Jun and his team sat on one side of the long metal table in the conference room. The walls were plain. The only decoration was the Earth flag hanging behind the human delegation. The door slid open, and the Tagans entered. Commander Kurval led the way, followed by 2 guards and the young Taken that June had noticed yesterday. "Captain Park," said Curval with a small nod. "We will now present our terms." "Before we begin," June replied, "may I ask who else is joining us today?" He looked at the young Taken. "This is Talren, my aide and translator," Curval said. "Though your translation devices are adequate, Talren has studied your languages directly." Talren gave a small bow. "It is an honor to meet you, Captain." June noticed something different about Talren's speech. Unlike Curval, whose words came out flat through the translator, Talren's voice had a hint of, was it emotion? "The honor is mine," June replied. "Now, Commander, we are ready to hear your proposal." Curval pressed a button on his wrist device. A hologram appeared above the table showing a map of human and Taken space. "These are our terms," Curval began. "All human military ships will be surrendered to Taken control. Earth and its 3 remaining colonies will be placed under Taken protection. Humans may continue to govern themselves in internal matters, but all space travel and defense will be managed by Taken authorities." Yun Kim shifted in her seat. June could feel her anger, but she remained silent. "That sounds more like occupation than peace," Jun said calmly. "It is the logical solution," Curval replied. "Your species has proven itself unpredictable. Your emotions make you dangerous neighbors in the galaxy." June noticed Talren watching him carefully, as if studying his reaction. "I see," said June. "And what do humans receive in this arrangement besides survival?" "Is survival not enough?" asked Curval. "We could have destroyed your home world. Instead, we offer protection. Taken medical knowledge will be shared. Your people will not suffer from disease or hunger." "Like pets in a cage," Yun muttered. Curval's 4 eyes turned to her. "An interesting comparison, Lieutenant Kim, but inaccurate. Pets serve no purpose. Humans have potential uses." June leaned forward. "What kind of uses, Commander?" For the first time, Curval seemed slightly uncomfortable. "That is not relevant to these discussions." June made a mental note of this reaction. There was something important here. "We will need time to consider these terms," June said. "Can we meet again tomorrow?" "Very well," Curval agreed. "You have until then to accept our offer." As the Taken stood to leave, Talren's data pad fell to the floor. The young alien quickly bent to retrieve it, and for a brief moment, Talren's eyes met June's. There was a flash of something in those 4 eyes that June had never seen in a Taken before: curiosity, perhaps even sympathy. After the aliens left, Yun slammed her hand on the table. "This is not a peace treaty. It's surrender." "Yes," June agreed, "but they need something from us." "Did you notice how Curval avoided my question about potential uses for humans?" "What could they possibly need from us?" asked Yun. "They're stronger, more advanced." "I don't know yet," June said, "but I intend to find out." He looked toward the door where Talren had exited. "And I think their young aide might be the key." Later that night, June worked alone in the conference room, reviewing historical records of the war. He was looking for patterns, for anything that might explain the Taken's sudden interest in peace. The door slid open. June looked up, expecting to see Yun or another member of his team. Instead, Talren stood in the doorway, without Commander Curval or any guards. "Captain Park," the young Taken said quietly, "I need to speak with you, alone, about the real reason for this war." June stared at Talren standing in the doorway. He quickly checked his wrist device to make sure the room was not being monitored. "Come in," June said, keeping his voice calm despite his surprise. Talren entered, and the door closed behind him. The young Taken looked nervous, glancing around as if afraid of being caught. "What I am doing would be considered treason by my people," Talren said quietly. Jun gestured to a chair. "Then why risk it?" Talren sat down, his 4 eyes blinking in a pattern Jun had never seen before in a Taken. "Because I have studied humans for years. Not just your languages, but your music, your art, your feelings. Our feelings? June asked. I was under the impression that Tegans view emotions as a weakness. Most do, Tal Ren admitted. But I am different. I have always been fascinated by the way humans express themselves. Tal Ren leaned forward. There is one human concept our translators call tears. I have read about this, but I do not fully understand it. June was surprised by the question. Tears are drops of water that come from our eyes, usually when we feel strong emotions like sadness or sometimes great joy. Your bodies produce water when you feel things. Tal Ren seemed amazed. Tegans cannot do this. We have no physical way to cry. It's not something we control, June explained. It just happens. Tal Ren's head tilted. Would you show me your tears? June shook his head. I can't just make tears appear. They come with real emotion. I see, Tal Ren said, clearly disappointed. June thought for a moment, then reached into his pocket and took out a small device. But I can show you this. He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared above the device. It showed a young girl with a bright smile, singing a soft song. This is my daughter, Ha, Jun said. His voice grew quieter. She died when your people destroyed the Proxima colony. Tal Ren's 4 eyes widened. I am sorry. The hologram showed the girl finishing her song and saying, I love you, Dad. Come home soon. June turned off the device. His eyes were wet. Those are tears, Tal Ren said softly, pointing to June's eyes. June nodded. Yes, they come when I think of her. And yet you do not hate me? Tal Ren asked. Even though my people killed your daughter. I don't hate you personally, June said. I don't even understand why your people attacked us in the first place. Tal Ren was quiet for a long moment. Then, neither do most Tegans. Only the High Command knows the full truth. But I discovered something. Tal Ren lowered his voice even more. Our leaders fear you. Fear us. June was shocked. But your technology is far more advanced. Your weapons are stronger. It is not your weapons they fear, Tal Ren explained. It is your emotions. Your unpredictability. Tegans have spent thousands of years removing emotion from our society. We believe pure logic is the path to perfection. Then why did Kerval say humans have potential uses? June asked. Tal Ren looked down. Because our path may have been a mistake. Over the next 3 nights, June and Tal Ren met in secret. The young Tegan was eager to learn about human culture. June showed Tal Ren poetry, music, and art. He explained how humans could feel sad and happy at the same time, how they could laugh during danger, how they could love someone even after they were gone. Tal Ren was like a sponge, absorbing everything. Humans express so much, the Tegan said one night. Tegans express nothing. We are taught from birth that emotions are primitive and dangerous. But you're different, June noted. You feel things, don't you? Tal Ren nodded slowly. I do. I always have. That is why I was assigned to study humans. Because I already had this flaw. It's not a flaw, June said. It's a strength. Perhaps, Tal Ren replied. But now I must tell you something important, Captain. Something that will change everything you know about this war and why the Tegans really want peace now. June leaned forward, watching Tal Ren carefully. The young Tegan seemed nervous, checking the door frequently as if afraid someone might walk in. What is it? June asked. What do I know about this war? Tal Ren's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. The Tegan High Command did not tell the truth about why we attacked humans. They told our people that humans were dangerous, that your emotions would lead you to destroy us if we did not strike first. That's not true, June said. We had no plans to attack your people. We barely knew you existed before the war started. I know, Tal Ren replied. But there is more. The real reason the High Command fears human emotion is much deeper. The young Tegan paused. Our species is dying. Captain Park. June's eyes widened. Dying. How? For thousands of years, we Takens have bred emotion out of our people. We believed pure logic was the next step in evolution. Talren's voice grew sad. But our scientists have discovered a problem. Our birth rates are falling. Each generation has fewer children, and many young Takens now suffer from brain disorders. They cannot feel anything at all, not even the basic drives that keep a species alive. And this is happening because you removed emotion. June asked. Talren nodded. We need emotion to survive as a species. Without it, we have no desire to create art, to explore, to connect with others, to have families. Even our most logical scientists now agree. A species without emotion eventually loses the will to exist. June sat back, stunned. So the war was started because our leaders saw humans as everything they had taught Takens not to be. You were emotional, unpredictable, creative. They thought destroying humans would prove they were right about emotion being primitive and dangerous. But now they know they were wrong. Jum said, understanding dawning on him. Yes, the High Command knows we need to bring emotion back to our people, or we will be extinct within 3 generations. Talren looked directly at June. That is why Kirval mentioned potential uses for humans. They want to study you, to learn how to feel again. June stood up and paced the room, thinking. So this peace treaty isn't about peace at all. It's about using humans as, what? Test subjects. That is Commander Kirval's plan, yes. Study humans, learn from them, then dispose of them once we have what we need. And you don't agree with this plan? June asked. Talren stood up too. No. I believe humans and Takens could help each other. I think we need to learn from you, not use you. And I think you could teach us how to feel again. June was quiet for a long moment. Does Kirval know you're telling me this? No. If he knew, I would be executed immediately. Talren's voice shook slightly. But I cannot stand by while my people use yours and then destroy them. It is not right. June noticed the emotion in Talren's voice. The young Taken was already changing, already learning to feel. Thank you for this truth, Jun said. But what can we do? If we reject their terms, they could destroy Earth. If we accept, they'll use us and then kill us anyway. I do not know yet, Talren admitted. But tomorrow, when you meet with Commander Kirval again, you must. The door suddenly slid open. Yun Kim stood there, her weapon pointed at Talren. Captain, get away from it, she shouted. Yun, wait. June moved between her and Talren. It's not what you think. Talren is helping us. Helping us? Yun's eyes narrowed. I've been tracking unauthorized meetings in this room. How do you know this isn't a trick? Before June could answer, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the hallway. What's happening? June asked. Ilan lowered her weapon slightly. A Taken ship just fired on one of our patrol vessels. They're saying we violated the peace terms. Talren looked horrified. No, this is not possible. Unless. The young Taken's eyes widened. Kirval must know I've been speaking to you. This is his way of ending the peace talks. The war is starting again, Jun said grimly. And we're trapped here on this station with them. The station shook as another explosion hit nearby. Jun grabbed the wall to keep from falling. We need to get to the command center, he told Yun and Talren. You trust this alien? Yun asked, still pointing her weapon at Talren. Yes, Jun said firmly. Talren has been honest with me. We need all the help we can get right now. Yun slowly lowered her weapon. If you're wrong about this, we all die. If I'm wrong, we were going to die anyway, Jun replied. The 3 of them hurried through the hallways. Other crew members ran past them, some giving strange looks at the Taken running alongside their captain. When they reached the command center, chaos greeted them. Officers shouted reports as data flashed across screens. "Captain on deck," someone called. "Report," June ordered. "Sir, a taken ship fired on our patrol vessel without warning," said the security officer. Then Commander Curval sent a message claiming we attacked them first. He's called off the peace talks and is preparing to leave the station. "Where is Curval now?" June asked. "He and his guards are heading to their ship. They've sealed the path behind them." Tal Ren stepped forward. "Captain Park, this was planned. Curval is making it look like humans broke the peace. He will tell our people that this proves humans cannot be trusted." "Can you contact your ship?" June asked. "Tell them the truth." Tal Ren shook his head. "They would not believe me. I am just an aide. And now I will be seen as a traitor." Suddenly, the main screen came to life. Commander Curval's face appeared, his 4 eyes cold. "Captain Park," Curval said, "your deception has been noted. You have violated our terms by conspiring with one of our own against us. You never planned for peace." Jun replied, "You just wanted to study us and then destroy us." For a moment, Curval looked surprised. Then his face hardened. "Tal Ren has told you much, too much." He looked past Jun. "Tal Ren, you have betrayed your people. The penalty is death." Tal Ren stepped forward. "No, Commander. You have betrayed our people by hiding the truth about our condition. Our species needs humans alive, not dead. Our species needs the human emotional capacity, not the humans themselves." Curval snapped. "We will take what we need from their brains. Then we will no longer need them." The screen went black. "He's cut communication," said the officer at the controls. Another explosion rocked the station. "They're firing on us," someone shouted. "Return fire," Yun ordered. "No," Jun countered. "That's what they want. If we fire back, it proves their point that humans are violent and dangerous. So we just let them kill us." Yun asked angrily. Before Jun could answer, the station's security team arrived. They grabbed Tal Ren. "Sir, we're placing the alien under arrest," the security chief said. "On whose orders?" Jun demanded. "Earth Command, sir. They believe the Tagans have planted a spy." Jun watched helplessly as they took Tal Ren away. The young Tagan did not resist. "Put the alien in the secure holding cell," Jun finally said. "But treat him well. He's not our enemy." As the day went on, the situation grew worse. The Tagan main ship had moved away, but smaller ships continued to attack the station. Earth Command ordered Jun to remain at his post while they decided what to do next. That night, Jun sat alone in his quarters. On his desk was the small device with his daughter's hologram. He played it again, watching her sing her song. For the first time since her death, he let himself truly feel the loss. Tears ran down his face as he thought of his daughter, his wife, and the billions of humans who had died in this senseless war. He didn't hear his door open. He didn't notice Tal Ren standing there, having escaped from the holding cell. "Captain," Tal Ren said softly. Jun looked up, quickly wiping his eyes. "I've never seen a human cry before," Tal Ren said, watching the tears on Jun's face with fascination. "It's beautiful, so honest." Jun stood up. "How did you get out?" "That doesn't matter," Tal Ren replied. "What matters is that I think I know how we can stop this war and save both our species. But we must hurry." "What do you mean?" Jun asked, quickly wiping the last tears from his face. "Earth's fleet is still days away. The Taken ships have us surrounded." Tal Ren moved closer, speaking quietly. "Their plan depends on lies. Curval told our people that humans are dangerous because of your emotions. But what if we show the truth?" "How?" Jun asked. "The Taken main ship has a communication system that can reach all Taken vessels at once," Tal Ren explained. "If we can access it, we can broadcast the truth about our dying species and why we really need humans. But how would we get on their ship? Jun asked. As prisoners, Tal Ren said. I will tell Kurval that I have captured you and want to bring you to him as a peace offering. He will accept because he wants to study you. Jun thought about it. The plan was dangerous, maybe even crazy. But they had no other options. "A mob like this," he said. "Lieutenant Kim does not need to know," Tal Ren replied. "The fewer who know, the better chance we have." An hour later, Jun found himself in a small Tagan shuttle, his hands bound in front of him. Tal Ren piloted the craft toward the massive Tagan warship. "This is Tal Ren," the young Tagan said into the communication system. "I have escaped the human station and captured Captain Park, requesting permission to dock." There was a long pause before a response came. "Permission granted. Commander Kurval will meet you personally." As they approached the Tagan ship, Jun looked out at the stars. "If this doesn't work, I just want you to know that I believe you're doing the right thing, Tal Ren." "Thank you, Captain," Tal Ren replied. "In my language we have no word for right. We only have logical and illogical. But I am learning that right means something more than just logical." They docked with the Tagan ship. When the door opened, Commander Kurval stood waiting with 4 armed guards. "Well done, Tal Ren," Kurval said, his 4 eyes studying Jun. "Perhaps you are not a traitor after all." "I realized my mistake," Tal Ren said, keeping his voice flat like most Tagans. "The human was using me, trying to make me feel emotions." Kurval nodded. "Humans are manipulative. That is why they are dangerous." He gestured to his guards. "Take Captain Park to the laboratory. We will begin studying him immediately." "Commander," Tal Ren said, "I request to observe the procedure for my research on human emotional responses." Kurval seemed to consider this. "Very well, you may observe, but one sign of sympathy for the human, and you will join him." The guards led Jun through long corridors to a large room filled with strange equipment. They forced him to sit in a chair in the center and attached metal bands to his head. "This will map your brain's emotional centers," Kurval explained. "It will hurt, a lot, but we need to see how pain affects human emotions." Jun looked at Tal Ren, who stood by the door. Their eyes met briefly. "Before you begin," Jun said, "I want to ask you something, Commander. Why do you hate emotions so much when they're exactly what your species needs to survive?" Kurval stiffened. "Emotions are primitive. They lead to chaos. But they also lead to beauty," Jun replied. "To creation. To connection." "Connection is weakness," Kurval snapped. "Is it?" Jun asked. "Then why are your people dying out? Why can't your young connect with each other enough to have families? Why do they lose the will to live?" Kurval's face showed anger, an emotion he claimed not to have. "Enough. Start the procedure." Jun continued, speaking louder now. "Humans cry when we're sad, but we also cry when we're happy. Our tears can mean different things. They connect us to each other. They help us heal." Around the room, Jun noticed some of the younger Tagan scientists watching him with interest. One of them stepped forward. "Commander," the young Tagan said, "I would like to hear more about this. Healing." Silence. Kurval shouted, "Return to your station." But more young Tagans moved closer, their eyes fixed on Jun. "You see, Kurval," Jun said softly, "your own people are curious. They want to know what they're missing, what you've taken from them." For the first time, Commander Kurval looked uncertain. Kurval looked around the room at his scientists. Their attention was on Jun, not him. This was dangerous. "This human is manipulating you," Kurval shouted. "Return to your stations now." Tal Ren moved quickly to a control panel near the wall. While everyone watched Kurval, Tal Ren pressed several buttons. Suddenly, Jun's voice was everywhere. The ship's communication system carried his words to every room, every corridor. "My name is Captain Jun Park," he said clearly. "I am human. I feel emotions, and I have learned that the Taken species is dying because you have removed emotions from your lives. Curval spun around. Stop this broadcast, he ordered, but the young scientists didn't move. Tal Ren spoke into the system next. This is Tal Ren, assistant to Commander Curval. What Captain Park says is true. Our scientists have discovered that without emotions, our birth rates are falling. Our young suffer from brain disorders. In 3 generations, there will be no more Takens. Guards rushed into the room, but instead of attacking, they stood listening. June continued, his voice strong. Humans and Takens don't need to be enemies. We can help each other. You can teach us about your technology. We can teach you about emotions, about connecting with each other again. Curval pulled out a weapon and pointed it at June. Enough. I will end this now. But before he could fire, one of the young scientists stepped between them. No, Commander, the scientist said. We need to hear this. More Takens moved to stand between Curval and June. The commander looked around, shocked to see his own people turning against him. This is treason, Curval shouted. This is survival, Tal Ren replied, walking back to June and freeing him from the chair. Our people deserve to know the truth. Aboard the human space station, Yum Kim and the other officers listened to the broadcast. They could hear everything happening on the Taken ship. We should attack now while they're distracted, one officer suggested. No, Yun said, surprising herself. Let's wait. I think Captain Park may be achieving something important. Back on the Taken ship, more and more crew members entered the laboratory. The room was now full of Takens, all watching Curval and June. You have lied to us for years, one Taken officer said to Curval. You told us humans were the enemy, that they would destroy us. But it is your policies that are destroying us. Curval looked around, seeing he was losing control. You are all contaminated by human emotional thinking. Can't you see? They are turning you against your own kind. No, Tal Ren said. They are helping us save our kind. The Taken officer who had spoken stepped forward. Commander Curval, I am removing you from command. You will be held until the High Command can review your actions. Guards moved toward Curval. For a moment, it seemed he would fight. Then, seeing he was outnumbered, he lowered his weapon. You are all making a terrible mistake, Curval said as the guards took him away. Tal Ren turned to the officer who had taken charge. We need to contact our fleet. Tell them to stop the attack on the human station. The officer nodded. It is done already. But there is a problem. 3 of our ships refuse to acknowledge the order. They are loyal to Curval and the old ways. So the war isn't over, Jun said. Not yet, Tal Ren agreed. But now we have Takens and humans on the same side. The Taken officer looked at June. Captain Park, we wish to propose new terms for peace. Real peace this time. A true alliance. What kind of alliance? June asked. One where we help each other, Tal Ren explained. Takens will share their technology with humans, and humans will help Takens learn about emotions again. June thought about it. I will need to discuss this with Earth Command, but I believe they will agree. Tal Ren turned to the Taken officer. We should prepare a formal proposal, one that benefits both species. As they began to work, a message came in from the human station. It was Yun Kim. Captain, 3 Taken ships are moving into attack position, she reported. They're not responding to our communications. June looked at Tal Ren and the other Takens. It seems Curval's supporters aren't giving up so easily. No, Tal Ren said. But neither are we. Alarms blared throughout both the human station and the Taken ship. The 3 Taken vessels loyal to Curval were moving into attack position. They're powering weapons, reported a Taken officer. Tal Ren turned to June. These ships are following Curval's final order. They believe they are saving our species by destroying yours. Can't you talk to them? June asked. Explain what's happening. They have cut off communications, the Taken officer said. And there is worse news. The lead ship carries a doomsday weapon. A what? Jun asked. Tal Ren's 4 eyes showed fear, an emotion Jun had never seen in a Taken before. It's called the Void Maker. It creates a small black hole that lasts for 30 seconds, enough to swallow both the human station and our ship. Why would they use that? Jun was shocked. It would kill Tagans too. They see us as contaminated now, Tal Ren explained. In their minds, we are no longer true Tagans because we have accepted emotion. We have 15 minutes before they are in firing range, the Taken officer reported. Jun thought quickly. Your ships have better weapons than our station. Can you stop them? We can try, the officer replied. But they have activated shield technology that our regular weapons cannot penetrate. Wait, Jun said. You said regular weapons. Are there irregular weapons? Tal Ren and the officer exchanged looks. There is one possibility, Tal Ren said. Our ship has an experimental shield disruptor, but it has never been tested in battle. And the officer added, it requires exact targeting. Our targeting systems are not precise enough for moving ships. Jun smiled for the first time in days. Human targeting systems are more precise. It's one area where we've always been better than Tagans. If we combine your disruptor with our targeting, we might have a chance. But how? Tal Ren asked. The systems are not compatible. We'll make them compatible, Jun said. He turned to the officer. I need to speak with Lieutenant Kim immediately. Within minutes, teams of humans and Tagans were working together. Human engineers from the station came aboard the Taken ship. Taken scientists shared their technology openly for the first time. Jun and Eun coordinated from the Taken command center, while Tal Ren helped translate complex technical terms. 10 minutes until they're in firing range. The Taken officer warned. We need more time, a human engineer said, her hands moving quickly over the alien technology. Work faster, Eun replied. None of us have more time. As they worked, Jun noticed something strange. The humans and Tagans were starting to understand each other. The humans made jokes to deal with the stress, something Tagans never did. But now, some of the younger Tagans were trying to joke too. It was awkward, but it was a start. 8 minutes, came the update. Tal Ren approached Jun. I've been watching your people. Even facing death, they smile. They touch each other's shoulders. They say encouraging words. That's how humans cope with fear, Jun explained. Fear. Tal Ren repeated the word. I think I'm feeling it now. Jun put his hand on Tal Ren's shoulder. That's good. Fear keeps you alive. It makes you fight harder. 7 minutes. A human engineer shouted. I think we've got it. The systems are talking to each other. Everyone rushed to the main console. On the screen, they could see the 3 enemy ships approaching. The targeting system was now showing details that the Taken system alone couldn't detect. We'll only get one shot, the Taken weapons officer said. The disruptor takes 5 minutes to recharge. 5 minutes, came the update. They've launched the Void Maker. On the screen, they watched a small dark object moving slowly toward them. Target the lead ship, Jun ordered. If we can disable it, we might be able to disable the Void Maker too. The human and Taken officers worked the controls together, their hands sometimes touching as they made adjustments. Ready, said the weapons officer. Jun looked at Tal Ren. The young Taken nodded. Fire, Jun ordered. A beam of blue energy shot from the Taken ship toward the lead enemy vessel. Everyone held their breath. Direct hit, someone shouted. Their shields are down. Now, Jun said, target the Void Maker itself. 3 minutes until it activates, the Taken officer warned.